All right, so this film, Haywire, takes so many twists and turns. I'm really interested. How would you describe it?
I think it's difficult to describe. It's a fight movie. I've always thought of it as being a fight movie. But it has a very complicated plot, and it has a very strong kind of espionage retro feel to it. You know, the music that Stevens used and the sequences of action that are edited without dialogue, and I don't know, there's this kind of 70s feel to it, which I really like. So he's taken what is, I suppose, a fight movie and elevated it into something else, as he usually does with all his films. You know, you can't put your finger on, you couldn't say Steven Soderbergh is a action director or a drama director. He's just a great director. So
agreed with that. Now, your character Kenneth plays opposite Mallory, and even with all of the action and all of the fighting and all the sequences in this film, you don't get to do much of that.
I get a good fight with her
at the very end, but was it really a fight? Did you really fight with her, or did you really run from her?
Oh no, I think that's right. I think he's fighting her off so that he can get away.
Okay.
But at the same time, we did have quite a long, complicated sequence of kicks and punches to learn.
Yeah.
And we worked on that together. Yeah. No, but you're absolutely right. He's not like Channing is trying to beat her up so that he can take her in. And Fassbender is trying to kill her, and I'm trying to get away from her. You're absolutely right.
So talk to me about sort of the nuances of this character and where you had to go, because I don't know how to ask that without giving stuff away.
I know it's difficult, isn't it? Well, Kenneth's in charge. He's our boss. He has been in the military, probably known her in the military. When he leaves, he sets up a business, taking his skills and the learning that he's got from the military to put it to use to make himself rich. And he hires soldiers who are coming out of the military, trains them, and sends them into difficult and dangerous situations for financial gain. And she is one of his operatives that he's hired. He's been in a relationship with her at some point, we know in the film, before the film starts. And he's a weak man in that he's putting other people into harm's way so that he can, for his own financial betterment, and there's something intrinsically weak about him.
Gina's role, Mallory, could have been played by a man or a woman, and you know, consistently in the past it's always generally played by a man. What do you think about sort of swapping that out and kind of the nuances of what a woman brought to this character in terms of like a strong, you know, fighting, not wussy, you know, kick-ass kind of badass?
Well, kick-ass badass.
I mean,
non-wussy kick-ass badass.
I mean, you know, I'm so sick and tired of watching, you get the thing slapped out of your hand.
It's very relevant today. We have female soldiers. We've got female fighter pilots. There's females all through the military nowadays. And in a world also of private military, where there are soldiers and operatives who are sent into situations for money, not for fighting for the government, but fighting for money, having a very strong, tough female will be very useful, especially in undercover situations where you're sending people in to be, like we see in the film, her and Michael Fassbender pretending to be a couple. That must be very useful. So it's very relevant. It's not, I think, the case that they've taken a male role and turned it into a female role. They've written a role for Gina around a very strong, capable female. And it's absolutely that. She couldn't be a man in this film, because the point is that she's a woman, you know.
It's true.
And it's just interesting because she's so interesting. That's what he saw, Steven Soderbergh, when he was watching her fight. He looked at her, this woman who was unbelievably aggressive in the ring, and like somebody else outside of it, doing her interviews and doing the weigh-ins, you can see that she's a gentle soul. She's respectful to her opponents, but when she goes in the ring, she's capable of extreme aggression. And he thought that was fascinating, and he wrote this film round about her. And that is what's fascinating about this film, is Gina, you know.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Our time is up.
Cheers. Thanks.